so lovely is that one of you has just turned up who has been on one of my stress courses. And so I'm really pleased about that, because it's a very important learning in our Breathworks Mindfulness for Stress course. Because obviously it's fine if we've got lovely thoughts and we're letting them go, but sometimes thoughts aren't like that. Sometimes they keep coming back and back and back. And so I'm just going to do a little exercise to show you how we can use mindfulness to cope better with these charged thoughts. Okay, so if you'd like to get yourself comfortable, be about 10 to 15 minutes. So when you're ready, and if you want to turn your videos off, that's fine. Just make yourself really comfortable. Notice where you're sitting or lying. It doesn't matter which one you use for this. And if you're happy, just gently close your eyes. And if you'd rather not, then just point your gaze to a point on the floor. I'll close my eyes just because it's easier for me then to lead the meditation. And it's easier for me to also notice thoughts with my eyes shut. So that's what I prefer to do today. So gently closing your eyes and settling in. And you might like to start by taking 3 quite deep breaths. Notice the breathing in and the breathing out. Just to settle yourself. You've all had busy days, I'm sure. You've all had things to do beforehand. You come rushing in, work, running, whatever it might be. Some of you might have made this little space in a busy day. So as well as congratulating yourself, just take this time to arrive with this lovely group of people on week 6. So if you're sitting, you might want to feel your feet. Take your shoes off if you want and just feel your toes against the floor or the grass. Just start sinking into gravity and really noticing that relaxation of your body. So if your shoulders are feeling hunched, just let them down. Notice the pressure where you're sitting. Maybe your bottom's on the seat or your back if you're lying down. Just notice those feelings. It's really about just noticing the space you're in now. Just being here. Nothing to do except follow my guidance if you'd like to. And just start noticing your breath and the movements of the breath in the body. The chest moving up and down as you breathe. Your tummy falling and rising. The breath going in through your nostrils if that's the way you're breathing, and out again through your nostrils or your mouth. Just tune in for a few seconds into the rhythm of the breath, not needing to change anything or do anything. And now, after the next breath, I'd like to ask you to turn your attention to your thoughts. Remember to just be curious. Just notice what's going on up there in that busy mind. You might say, oh, but Sue, there's no thoughts, so just wait, they'll come. What are you thinking? Oh gosh, what am I doing this evening? Or what's for supper? Or my feet feel restless. Just notice them. And really this time paying attention to them, but letting them go. So I notice them, I let them pass through. A little bit like on another session, we talked about clouds in the sky. So your mind is the sky and the thoughts are the clouds passing through. And don't worry if you suddenly find that you've got attached to a train of thought and you've gone shooting off somewhere. Just smile. Bring yourself back to seeing if you can noticing them. Like text on a screen, maybe a cinema screen, or clouds in the sky. So what you're doing is you're just trying to give them a little bit of distance, so you're not getting hooked into them and their stories for now. And if you've been meditating a little while, and if you're meditating this evening, you might find that sometimes the same thoughts keep coming back, poof, like a boomerang. And try as you might to let them pass, they keep coming along. And they're not really wanted. We don't want to have these thoughts popping back. You might even be annoyed that I've asked you to think about them now. And if that does happen, or if you can remember it has happened today, it's probably because those thoughts are a little bit charged with emotion. So they're not white fluffy clouds, they're quite heavy black ones. And that emotion is taking you away from the present. So if I could explain, it might be like you've got a worrying thought, or you've had an argument with someone, and the thought keeps coming back, I wish I hadn't said that. And it's coming back because there's some emotion attached to it. And all we really want to do is just get rid of those thoughts, either sort them out or push them away. But it doesn't work. And now here's Sue asking you to look at them. So what I'm trying to do now is to ask you to find that thought. Nothing too awful and horrible. Those little unwanted niggly thoughts that keep coming back. Maybe it's something like, I wish I'd never said that. And pay your attention to it. But try not to get hooked into the story. Oh, if only I said this, if only I'd said that, whatever it is. But go underneath it. So you've got the thought in your head and you're dropping down underneath it, because this is the magic of our bodies, is that we feel emotion in our bodies. So the thought might be going in on our head, but there's an emotion somewhere in the body that's feeling it. So see if you can go down to the emotion, which is the odd feeling in your body that you're not quite sure about. You may not even be able to say it's sadness or loss or anger or irritation or tiredness. But see if you can find it. Go carefully, because here we are, all in different places. See if you can gently take a little peek at that feeling in the body. So for me, it may be that pit in the stomach, that sense of my stomach falling away. The heaviness in the tummy. For other people, it might be tension in the head or the neck. So you see, they're really subtle. Other people, it might be just, I'm feeling hot thinking about this. And all the time we do this in a really kind way. We're going to look at that feeling. And if it's your stomach, like me, you're going to breathe into your stomach gently, gently. Round the edges if it's a little bit tricky to get too close. And then you're going to breathe out. So what you're doing is dropping from the unwanted thought into the body and just breathing in some compassion, some space, in a really gentle way, not like a train rushing in, but in a really kind way, like you'd soothe a child. Come on, let's breathe together. Let me rub that tummy, but with my breath. And out again. And what you're trying to do is give that emotion just a little bit more space to breathe and settle. So if it's your head, you might be breathing kindness, imagining breathing a kindly breath into that tension. And of course the body and the mind will go, hang on a minute, let's just sort this out. Now we're here, let's just go and sort out that worry. But no, each time that happens, you just have to smile at yourself and gently go back. And go gently, because it can be quite scary to breathe into the emotion that you've been trying to button down and not acknowledge. So you might just want to tiptoe around the edges with your breath. And all the time imagining, bringing that real kindness and compassionate breath and space into that emotion. and notice how it feels. How does that tummy or that head or whatever it is feel? Or just that feeling somewhere that you're not quite sure where it is, how does that feel? So you've just dropped into the body and you're breathing. And if nothing unwanted has come to mind at all, then that's lovely. And hopefully this is just a really nice mindfulness of breathing, taking your body away from that busy mind that's been so busy all day, giving it a little break. And now, let's just drop all attention on thoughts and let's just go back to the breath in the body just for a few moments before we end this short meditation. So away from the thoughts to focusing on the breath, and the best anchor for you, whether it's the nostrils or your feet or your seat or the rise and fall of your tummy or your chest. And if you have noticed that something's changed and that it's okay, see if you can carry that with you for the rest of the evening. And I'll just read a very short poem. You know quite well, deep within you, that there is only a single magic, a single power, a single salvation, and that is called loving. Well, then, love your suffering. Do not resist it. Do not flee from it. It is your aversion that hurts, nothing else. That's by Hermann Hesse. So when you're ready, wiggle your hands, come back to the room. And it would be lovely to see you all again. And